Okay. Um, Clear north central skies for everyone. I am Joseph Lacroix. I am webmaster, and today we have interview with Alan Sheidler. Alan is chair of NCRAL, and he is member of Popular Astronomy Club. Welcome, Alan.
Thank you.
Um, I would like to ask you first question, how you became astronomer.
Well, that's a kind of a difficult question to answer. I think it's always been kind of something that I've done even from a little kid on. I was raised on a farm in Ohio, and I won't necessarily say how many years ago that was. It was a long time ago. But back in those days, I could just walk outside and see the sky, and it was always awe-inspiring. And early on, I received a pair of binoculars from my father and started using that. And eventually, I got a inexpensive telescope, very inexpensive telescope by today's standards, a 3-inch reflecting telescope. Very, very inexpensive, but it was a perfect thing for, like a 10-year-old kid on the farm, going outside, looking at Jupiter, looking at Saturn, things like that. So I guess that's kind of how I got my beginning. It was very early.
Do you remember aperture of the telescope and it was a refractor or a reflector or?
Yeah, it was a 3-inch reflector.
Hmm.
Very, like I say, very inexpensive, cardboard tube, plastic lenses for the eyepiece. It even had a Barlow lens, if you can believe that. And it actually worked. It wasn't too bad. You could actually do some uh, good observations of Jupiter and Saturn and the moon, things like that. And that was probably the spark that got me interested. And then of course back in those days, the space program was very much a thing. And I got very interested in engineering. Growing up on a farm, I was always working on machinery all the time, fixing things that I broke. So I became a mechanic. I became a amateur astronomer. Got encouraged by my family and had uh, good teachers in grade school and high school, and eventually went from there.
Okay. You mentioned teachers. Did you have any teacher which encouraged you to like study physics or astronomy or be interested or not?
Yeah, I did. I think one teacher in particular that I really have grown to admire was a lady by the name of Miss Hauk, and she was my English teacher. I had her two different times. I had her in fourth grade. I think it was fourth grade, and then I had her again in seventh grade for English and reading and that sort of thing. So this wasn't a science teacher. She was not a science teacher, but I think she recognized that I was more interested in science than I was in English. But she enabled me to and encouraged me to pursue my interests. And so I was always doing book reports on planets and doing research on space missions, things like that. And then we would have to give book reports, in class. And I remember one time, I think it was fourth grade, we had to do book reports, and I had done enough research to figure out how to get to Mars. And I designed a space station, with propulsion and everything associated with it that could to go to Mars and deliver astronauts to the surface of Mars. And I came in like during recess and made diagrams on the blackboard. This was back in the days when we had chalk. And and then during the book report, I think I took most of the class period to talk about it. And she was fine with that. She encouraged that. And I don't think I did very many assignments that the other students did, but I was encouraged by her to do it, what drove my interests. And so I look back on her as being somebody that really encouraged me.
Yeah, which is good to know. Uh, and you are still talking about your time in Ohio, right? And
Right.
but your current club is in Moline, Illinois. How it happened that right now you are in a popular astronomy club?
Well, it's natural when you think about it. As I said, I grew up on a farm, and you know, growing up on a farm, we had tractors, combines, all kinds of machinery, and I became uh, adept at operating machinery and fixing machinery. My dad recognized that I could fix things and operate things, so he would let me he would let me do basically what I wanted. And I became very interested in mechanical engineering. Went to Ohio University, got a degree in mechanical engineering, and then I got hired by John Deere.
Hmm.
And John Deere, as you may know, is headquartered in Moline, Illinois. So I moved to Moline, Illinois, and that's how I got here. And when I got here, then I ended up, I don't remember what year it was, but I ended up joining the Popular Astronomy Club. And that's been quite a few years ago now, but uh, that's how I came to be here and got involved in the Popular Astronomy Club.
So I am sharing right now a map with popular astronomy club. So you are close to Mississippi River, right? And
Yep.
there are actually two clubs. Here is Popular Astronomy Club, and here is Quad Cities Astronomy Club. So is it one city, or tell me more about the city?
Well, yeah, the Quad Cities consists of uh, actually many smaller communities, but on the Illinois side of the river, you have Moline and Rock Island on the Illinois side, and on the Iowa side, you have Davenport and Bettendorf. Those are the four cities. But there are other cities there too, kind of in this metropolitan area. So there's probably 300 or 400,000 people in this metropolitan area, but it's divided on both sides of the river. Yes, and you're correct. There are two clubs. The Popular Astronomy Club was started in 1936. Well, yeah, 1936 was when the Popular Astronomy Club started, and that was started by a, a Deere executive, John Deere executive by the name of Carl Gamble. He built his own observatory and had that in Moline, and he started the club basically. He had so many people interested that he would invite people to come to his observatory, and it would be not unusual for him to have 1,000 people come to his house to look through his telescope.
Mhm.
And so he started this club, the Popular Astronomy Club, in 1936, and it's continued on now to be almost 90 years old. And the Quad City Astronomical Society is also in the Quad City area. And I happen to be a member of both clubs. I can't get enough astronomy anyway, so I'm a member of both clubs. So, they're a little bit different composition of people, but I'd say the people on the Popular Astronomy Club, a lot of them live on the Illinois side, and then the Quad City Astronomical Society, a lot of them live on the Iowa side, but we have members that belong to both clubs. So it's actually good. You have two opportunities and you have two sets of observatories and you know two times the opportunity, I guess, to get out, and you have more public outreach that way too.
One of my questions would be, did you reach out to some neighboring club? And in your case, your neighboring club is pretty close across rivers, so it's
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. Actually, it's that's one of my accomplishments. I feel pretty good about is being a member of well, the Popular Astronomy Club is one of the original members that were involved with forming the Astronomical League. And the Quad City Astronomical Society, um, I don't remember exactly what year it was. I think it was around 1980 or late 70s sometime is when
mhm,
they actually formed. And at one point they were a member of the Astronomical League, but then they dropped out for whatever reason. But then when I got to be chairman of the North Central region, I reached out to them to see if I could encourage them to rejoin the Astronomical League, and I'm very glad to say that they did. They rejoined. Um, so yes, I did. I did reach out to them. I've reached out to other clubs in the region here too to get them to either join or rejoin. And there are a lot of clubs in the region.
so
There's 36. Yep, go ahead.
okay. Well, do reach out. Like I can imagine if that neighbor club is in reasonable distance, I mean, there could be speaker come from or something. So do you have any cooperation with neighboring club or could you?
Yeah, we've had speakers, from neighboring clubs. Planetary Studies Foundation has had speakers at Popular Astronomy Club meetings.
Mhm.
Some of our members have done talks at other clubs as well, and that's one of the benefits we have is the ability to kind of cross-pollinate a
Yeah,
little bit and have contact with other people and see what they're doing. There are some fantastic observatories in the North Central region. I'm very proud of the North Central region. It's a very large region, and I think I'm correct on this. There's 36 clubs, if I recall, that
mhm.
are members, and I don't know what the membership count is for the number of individuals, but it's in the thousands. And the region, I think, Joseph, you calculated the size of the region is almost 1,000 miles wide, right?
Yeah. We could actually verify it. We could go to the page and and check it. Yeah, it's a huge region. Um, you know, my other question would be, so most likely you are visiting star parties, the aircraft, and so on. Is it true?
Yeah, I try to go to one or two star parties. This year I attended the Eastern Iowa Star Party,
Mhm.
which is actually was hosted primarily by the Quad City Astronomical Society. I attended that. That was a great event. And last year, I went to the Illinois Dark Sky Star Party, which is in central Illinois. That's hosted by the Sangamon Astronomical Society. And of course, the big one this year was the Alcon, or the Astrocon, I guess we called it, in Bryce Canyon. I went to that. That was really good. If you've never been to Utah, to Bryce Canyon, that's a great place. It's the first time I can remember being able to go out observing 4 nights in a row. You
Mhm.
can't do that in the Midwest very often.
That's correct. Um, Start part is what is your telescope? What is your favorite telescope?
Well, actually I use several different telescopes, but the one that I personally own is a 10-inch LX200, and it's a very old telescope. I would say it's probably I don't know precisely how old it is. It's probably 25 or 30 years old, and I bought it secondhand, and it needed a lot of tender loving care. I had to completely disassemble the electronics and refurbish that. And I haven't broken into the optical tube assembly, but eventually I might have to do that too. But that's the scope I use for most things. It's I like it. It's basic. It's simple. Uh, and Other scopes that I use, our club has a number of different scopes. We have a 12-inch LX200, which we use in our mobile observatory. I use that one uh, quite often as well. And we have a hydrogen alpha telescope that we use for observing the sun. I don't remember precisely what model that
Let
is,
me
but
let me go back to that LX 200 Mead. Unfortunately, Mead is not on the market anymore, and
right.
but there are many telescopes like this. Um, if you need to fix something, are you doing it yourself, or is there anyone or any other club or person to ask for help?
Well, yes and yes. Uh, I have personally, I haven't kept track of how many Meade telescopes I've rebuilt. It's been quite a few. Uh, they get donated, to our club,
Mhm.
and they're really not worth anything. I mean, people donate them just to get them out of their house. Maybe they can't handle it anymore, or maybe the person that owned it passed away, and then the people that inherited the scope didn't know what to do with it, so they donate it, to the club. And many times these older Meade telescopes aren't functioning. And I had one. I have another scope, another 10-inch scope that actually it's a club scope that was donated. That the guy that had it uh, left it in his garage with the visual back, in the back of the scope. It was left open for who knows how many years, and it was completely full of dead flies and spider webs, and it was a catastrophe. And I ended up taking that scope completely apart and refurbished everything on it, and it's a nice scope. It's a nice scope now. Nothing was damaged. It was just dirty. And I do know a person where you can get parts, and that's another thing that's good about the older Meade telescopes is you can still get parts for those. They might be used,
Mhm.
but you know, I do know a guy that lives over by Detroit that I'd like to go to his house sometime. He's probably got dozens of or hundreds of telescopes. I don't know. in his garage or something. But that's where I get some of the parts I need.
Okay,
But
okay.
I figure, if you get a telescope donated to you that's a disaster, what's the harm in trying to repair it? You can't make it worse.
So, more general question, because this is probably happening for many clubs without doubt, once a while, people are donating telescopes to our club. So what do you do with those telescopes? Do you have any shelter for them, or how you handle those donated telescopes?
This is a big problem. Our club is we've got a wealth of telescopes. We don't need we don't need to buy telescopes. We get all the telescopes we need donated. And I don't have to look very far here to see telescopes that belong to the club in my house. And uh, and many of our club members have club telescopes, and eventually they'll probably just come up missing because we've got more than we can ever use.
Hmm.
But typically, what we do is we'll take donations, and eventually, when our wives get mad, because we got too many telescopes, then we we'll have like a telescope day, and people can come and from our club and take what they want.
Okay. Um, one one or two more questions. If I would be interested in astronomy, and so what I should do, and I don't know, 15 or 35 or 65, what I should do in Moline, Illinois, where should I go?
Well, that's a really good question, and the answer might depend on a lot of factors. But one thing I would say is get involved with your astronomy club, whoever that is.
Hmm.
And as I say here in the Quad Cities, we've got two astronomy clubs, so either one of those would be good candidates, and they're both uh, Astronomical League members, so you can get involved that way. Uh, some of the schools around here, John Deere Middle School is, very good. They have several telescopes, good celestron telescopes. They have a Meade telescope also, one that I rebuilt, one of the ones I rebuilt. Anyway, they have observing programs where they take their telescopes out for the community, but primarily for their students. But anybody from the community that knows can go to it. And we have observing sessions. We have an observing session with our club, Popular Astronomy Club, at Niabi Zoo in Coal Valley, Illinois. That's a pretty nice place. We just bring our mobile observatory to the zoo parking lot the third Saturday uh, every uh, every month, except for the winter. We don't do it in the
So,
winter time, obviously.
excuse me,
Closed.
you are speaking about mobile observatory.
Mhm.
What
Yep,
is it?
it's a trailer with a dome on top.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like a 6 foot dome. It's a fully functional observatory, but if you have a pickup truck, you can hook up to it and you can take it anywhere you want. And we have
Hmm.
a 12-inch LX200 that we use in that. And we can either set it up outside on a tripod or we can set it up inside in the dome, which is okay for small groups, but if you have a larger group, it's better to set it up outside where you have more space. But for years we didn't have an observatory at all, so this was back like in the 1990s. The Popular Astronomy Club decided, well, we're just going to build a mobile observatory, and then we'll take it to whoever wants to have an observing session. We'll just take it there. So we go to schools, libraries, all the libraries
Hmm.
around
Hmm.
the Quad City area. We've been to most of them, I'd say. Campgrounds, churches, anybody that wants a observing session, no matter how poor the light pollution is.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad at times, but we go there.
Yeah. Well,
And
speaking about pollution, it's more important is to observe than not to observe, because those bright objects you may see even from polluted city. So, and now you have permanent observatory, right?
well, we do. We have a 10-foot dome situated on a farm south of Moline, Illinois. So it's not a perfect dark sky, but it's darker. It's away from the city,
Mhm.
and it's on a farm. We have a Celestron 11-inch HD Edge uh, telescope in there, which is a nice telescope. And that's what it's a club uh, telescope, club
Mhm.
observatory.
Mhm.
We take visitors out there occasionally, but it's mostly just for club members.
Okay. Well,
Yep.
I would have many other questions, but I would like to keep interview short. So thank you for all your interesting information, and I am sure that sooner or later we will have a second interview, and we will touch things which we didn't touch today. Thank you very much,
Good.
and clear skies.
Thank you. Thank you.